All right, guys, let's go ahead and let's talk about it now. I mean, first of all, right? What a what a beautiful move, man. You know, guys, this is why I am so against scalping because are you someone that wants to go for these little minor moves, or are you someone who wants to go for these really big boy type of plays, right? 117 pips on on the day, like absolutely insane. Um, Absolutely insane. And just to like put into perspective for you guys that are trading futures, mind you, this was a very nice EBP play as well, right? I just like the euro more only because the euro to me had more potential. And I mean, you guys see on the daily range, I mean, what a beautiful trend day it was. I mean, guys, it's just absolutely insane. I'm going to talk about the setup that I took pretty much, and how I kind of broke it down. Honestly, I fumbled because I put an order, I put a limit order on my exit because again, obviously I'm not trying to be up all night for this. But I mean, guys, what an absolute move. And this is why higher time frame is so key. Don't ignore higher time frame. I know, and I'm gonna make a separate YouTube video on this. Most people don't want to trade with a higher time frame because the reality is this: like they think that higher time frame means lower risk to rewards, and they think higher time frame means that they're not going to be able to optimize their risk to reward, which is just nonsense. I'm going to show you guys how this is nonsense as well. But let's talk about the breakdown as well. So we obviously talked about how on the daily time frame we're sitting at this key support level, these prior highs, and we had a beautiful reaction here on the daily time frame. Now all I'm looking for at this given moment in time, I just want to see, are we going to be in a situation where the market is going to give us some sort of confirmation, right? And we talked about it in the recap that then you don't even have to wait for any confirmation. I even said like you could just buy right there, put a wide stop loss below there, and then I pulled my line in the sand, which was like somewhere around here. This alone, not even this is the power of the higher time frame. Even on a 4 hour entry, if you're someone who's like, you know what, I don't even want to bother, it's gonna enter wide stop. Even on that, let's look at that. Like this would have easily been, and the line in the sand was pretty much somewhere around here. This alone gave at least up to 4.86 R. If even if you just took it to that 1.172, you know, right there, that's at least 2.4 R. Well, 72 is right here, right there. That's at least a 2.48 R. Like guys, that's assuming you're not even getting a good entry. I'm going to show you guys what my entry was as well. Now, I mean, again, played out exactly that we're talking about. And this is why higher time frame is key. Because again, we were talking, what the market is going to go from one area of support to an area of resistance. The nearest resistance to me, right, like a really big one, was obviously this fair value gap, and we kind of just like absolutely ripped through that. So when the low end objective is that essentially that fair value gap high. When okay, now we have clear, we're at support, right? The market is showing us clear bullish signs at support. And now I'm looking for where is going to be the next resistance point. So what happens here? The market comes in and we get a 4 hour confirmation because we get an EBP play, right? And then when we go down to the 1 hour, what do we see? We see a beautiful fair value gap that has formed inside of that range. Again, any entry, you don't even have to go down to the 15-minute time frame, right? But like let's just say you got in on this fair value gap right there. My entry was pretty much like around there. So if you draw the fib from swing low to swing high, it was around the 62, which was around here. So again, based off the 1 hour fair value gap, entry right there. Stop loss was pretty much the low of that candle bar. And my TP was set right here. I didn't set the TP there because I went to bed. So I want to just target at the very least this fair value gap in there, just in case we had like some sort of rejection there while I was sleeping overnight. Because again, this entry was in Asia session. Then we started to push going into midnight, and then yeah, I was already asleep by this point. So I had my target right there, 3.39 R. So again, not obviously could have done much better on this, right? Because even just holding for like that 1.1872, that's at least 6 R. And if I just trailed it, that's a 10 R move in one day, guys. So when people say like, oh, they much rather scalp, it's because they don't know how to properly identify key higher time frame moves. Because if you can, in my opinion, who would choose scalping over this, right? But I digress. Everything has its pros and cons. But yeah, so that was pretty much the entry. Very simple, very straightforward. You get the 4 hour confirmation at the 4 hour level. We already above bullish market structure as we broke down. We have a clear target that has not been traded to at that point. And this was just an easy, simple play. And I really want to emphasize this reality. Most people, guys, I've been blessed to be around thousands of traders at this point. it's so much more difficult for people to grasp scalping. It's so much easier to be able to identify these types of plays on the higher time frame. Now, obviously, when you're trading higher time frame, you're not going to have every single day where you understand where the market's going to go with high conviction. That's why you guys see me trading multiple different assets, and even then, I'm able to get multiple trades throughout the week, throughout the even some days you guys have seen some days we have like almost three opportunities, and I'm still using the higher time frame. And that's the reason. The reasoning is because with the higher time frame, you get bigger moves. So even like let's say the market didn't even get all the way up into here, right? Let's just assume that the market maybe came up into this area and we just completely rejected. The beautiful thing about the higher time frame is there's so much range that even if the market only moved from here to here, right? That's about 38 pips. And again, like the overall objective was like about 62 pips. You even if the market doesn't go all the way up here, even if the market only gives us like a 40 pip move, 50 pip move, that's good enough to still make a profit. Um, and again, if you guys were trading on the future side, it's just 6E. So it's pretty much the same thing. Same objectives on the daily time frame where we're looking for, well, this one was more the order block. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was the daily time frame. Yeah. So same exact thing where we were looking to target this fair value gap after getting this candle bar confirmation at key support. Textbook play, absolutely textbook. Uh, but yeah, guys, higher time frame is key. Don't ignore it. Most people are going to use the higher time frames in a way where most people are going to shy away from the higher time frames because they want to be scalpers. They want to be in and out. They don't want to stress about the trade. But trust me, in my opinion, scalping is even more stressful because you put yourself in a position where you might take too many trades for the day. You're not optimizing your risk to reward for the most part on scalps unless you're someone who's like very, very talented. And again, I'm not saying scalping doesn't work, but in my opinion, most people are better off seeing the charts like this because when you're using higher time frame top down analysis, you're putting yourself in a position where you're not making quick decisions. You have time to think. You know what you're looking at. You're waiting for higher time frame key levels, which is going to give you more of a range to trade within. So that's my rant. Probably gonna make a separate YouTube video on that when it comes to higher time frame. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys caught this move. Very simple, very easy, and it's a great start to the week.